There's a doco that's going to launch tonight, Channel 7, 7:30 p.m, Ego, the Michael Gudinski story, the wild ride of Aussie hitmaker, trailblazer, maverick entrepreneur Michael Gudinski. And I'm pleased to say we're very, very privileged to have us joining us. The Chief Executive of the Mushroom Group, Matt Gudinski, joins the Run Home with Joel and Fletch. G'day, Matty.
G'day, guys. How are you?
Hey, thank you for sharing this. And obviously you've seen the documentary already. How was Dad portrayed in the doc? Are you happy with that all played out?
Yeah, no, really happy with it. It's something my family and I are all really proud of. Look, the doco did have a bit of a run in cinemas last year for those that were lucky enough to catch it, and the reviews and feedback was just fantastic. And look, my dad's story is a pretty wild one, and we're just great to be able to share that with people, and looking forward to finally getting the chance for people across the country to see it tonight.
So, Matty, was the old man a muso as such?
No, he will say he couldn't play any instrument. He couldn't even sing in the shower. So I think he decided he was always interested in the music industry from when he was a young kid, and I think he worked out pretty early that if he was going to be in the music and entertainment business, it was on the management and business side, not the playing or singing side.
Hey, Matt, I'm sure he would have been so proud of yourself as well. Like Mushroom, 50 years old now, beyond that, and you've been there for half that. You've been there for a quarter of a century, so your own career has been quite decorated.
Yeah, no, it's been a great journey. I came into the business. I was already doing a lot in the business before I finished school, running some shows and just getting to see what my dad did, and literally finished school and the next day moved into the office. And sadly to say, it's 25 years later nearly. So time's gone quickly.
So your old man started when he was 19. And
yeah, Mushroom started when he sort of started running dances and signing and supporting Australian artists. I mean, my dad's biggest passion was investing and giving Australian artists an opportunity. And when he started, there was not really an industry at all. There wasn't there was no one really properly investing in Australian music, or if they were, they weren't letting them control their creativity. And my dad wanted to, had a real vision and taste and appetite for it, and really worked with artists to give them their own outlet to sort of guide their careers and make their own creative decisions.
Matt, am I right in saying that, your dad would be looked upon in the first instance taking Australian artists to the world and then starting to take the international artists to our shores? Is that a good way to sum up, Dad?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it started, like I said, with his passion for Australian talent, and there was Australian music had no reputation or no profile overseas or across the globe when he started. A big thing of his drive was to take us, not just artists that we worked with at Mushroom, but to take Australian artists to the world. And I say, well, there's a lot of people involved. He's probably the main person responsible for putting Australia on the map and music globally. And then not long after he started investing in Australian artists, started bringing, the biggest international stars to our shores. And obviously we're still doing that today. So it was, we're lucky enough to work on both sides.
Matty, what about the title of the film or the documentary? Is that... what is it? Is it I suppose, was that how he felt, or was that other people felt? Was he a confident sort of fella? It had to be if he was 19 and launching.
You've got to have confidence to do what we're doing in the game. I mean, taking some of the risks that you have to take and bringing international artists out here, and you need to be able to talk the talk and walk the walk. Look, the title was really taken from the famous Skyhook song "Ego Is Not a Dirty Word."
Oh, gotcha.
One of the first, or one of the early signings to Mushroom. Probably my dad managed the Skyhooks as well, and if it wasn't for the Skyhooks, Mushroom probably would have never survived the first 5 or 10 years, let alone 50 years. So Dad's work with the Skyhooks and what they did is really partly responsible for us becoming the company we are today.
What about, Matty, the relationship between the Mushroom Group and shows such as Home and Away and Neighbours?
Yeah, well, look, we've always, music is connected to everything in so many different ways now. And we definitely, my dad was always looking for a way to promote Australian music and just get music out there in general. And we've had relationships with, all the TV networks, but definitely those shows from when they started, and making sure that great Australian music featured in those shows. I mean, there's artists like Kylie, who was one of Mushroom's biggest artists, that obviously was in Neighbours before she, her music career, and the profile that she got in the UK and in other parts of the world through that show really gave her a platform to become, one of Australia's biggest music exports of all time.
What about, you just look at the cast, or not the cast, the people who speak in there. You got Dave Grohl, Ed Sheeran, Bruce Springsteen. Have you got a favourite overseas artist, Matty, who's just that we wouldn't sort of expect to be sort of, I suppose, humble and modest and a good fella or girl?
Well, it's pretty well documented that, my dad and I have, and all our families have great relationship with Ed Sheeran.
Yep.
I mean, he's just he's just one of the best artists to work with. Really humble, amazing bloke. The first time we saw him play, he played standing on a milk crate in Melbourne to about 15, maybe 20 people, and we just had him play to 230,000 at the MCG across 2 nights last year, and he's probably more down to earth now than he was when he was playing to the 15 or 20 people. So look, every artist is different to work with. Our business and is really built on having great relationships with artists and connecting with artists because we're passionate about what we do. So look, there's not a single favorite one, but like you just mentioned, Springsteen's obviously an amazing artist that we're just honored to tour. It was one my dad had always wanted to do in his career, and it took a while, but we were able to bring him out for the first time in 2013, and I think we've brought him out 3 times since, and hopefully again sometime soon, maybe as well. But yeah, everyone's got their their different strengths, I guess.
Get ready, Matty. Get ready.
Okay, Matty. The NRL Grand Final. I've been on this crusade for the last 5 years. The AFL. I think you might have got Meatloaf at the AFL Grand Final. Was that your doing?
Don't give me that responsibility. No. Look, that's one thing I can blame my old man on.
No, Matty.
We do all the entertainment for the AFL, so we're AFL men here.
Okay, I want to get Bruce Springsteen to sing 4 songs at the NRL Grand Final. I mean, I'd like more.
Yep.
I'd like more, but I'm just thinking we could only afford 4.
Mate, Matty's an AFL man. He's going to grass cut you now and take you to the AFL.
How do we go about getting Bruce Springsteen, the boss, at the NRL Grand Final?
As I just said, we do all the AFL entertainment. I don't need the new CEO Andrew Dillon or any other one after this interview. If he was to ever do anything, it would be the AFL, not the NRL. Let you down,
Brian. You've just given him the greatest short ball or hand pass. They'll do it.
But he would be great, either AFL or would he do something like that? Would you think he would do the AFL Grand Final?
Oh, you never know. I mean, it's fantastic that there's been so many great artists doing the AFL Grand Final over history, and it gets bigger each year. And look, if we'd love to have him, but these artists have very busy touring schedules, and it's not always easy to line up. So we'll have to wait and see where we land with the AFL entertainment for this year.
Yeah, Matty, Saturday is the AFL Grand Final. Sunday is the NRL Grand Final. We could just do a JV, a joint venture. Thoughts? I mean, we'll give you Justice Crew. We'll give you Justice Crew if we can have Bruce.
I think the NRL are going to need to step up their entertainment game before.
Tell me about
before anyone like Bruce considers it.
I know.
Okay, Matt, can I ask? And the story goes that I've heard, and it may be completely false, where your dad's got Meatloaf, and you guys are doing the tour, so he's out here. Everything's a sellout, and the last rehearsal, your dad has seen Meatloaf and gone, "Oh, we could be in a bit of trouble here ahead of the grand final." Is that true?
Look, all I'll say is I think we were blessed that all the tickets were sold to all the shows before he did that grand final, and probably the fact that you can't get refunds, because I would imagine nearly everyone would have wanted one. But yeah, look, it's rare that it happens, but I think his voice had definitely seen better times when we saw the rehearsal. So look, it's one that we'll always remember, and I used to always give my dad a bit of shit about it, but But you know, it was just unfortunate circumstance. Look, at least people are still talking
Yeah,
about
that's
it.
right.
10
Yeah, that's true.
years on.
Hey, Matty, the Splendour in the Grass has been cancelled, you know, it was overnight, basically. What do you think it is? And we had the big day out. I remember when I was a kid, I'd go the big day out. What do you think it is, especially with the Splendour in the Grass? Is it the cost of living, or do you think the younger generation aren't sort of into festivals and going to concerts anymore?
I think it's a combination of a lot of things. You know, it was really unfortunate for the industry as a whole to see events like Splendour, which has been such an iconic event, not go ahead this year. I think cost of living definitely doesn't help. It's obviously a destination festival. A lot of people are, you know, traveling from other states to go to that event that makes it more expensive. And look, they had a bit of an unfortunate circumstance a couple of years ago with the weather, and it was I don't think it was the most fun experience for a lot of people trudging through the mud for 3 days. But I think it's, you know, it's a combination of things, but definitely you know, people are just spoilt for choice with live music at the moment. And there's more artists than ever coming to Australia. There's more of, you know, great festivals and events than ever. So I definitely don't think it's that this, you know, the younger generation don't want to go to those events, because there's many that are selling out quickly. And it's just, yeah, it's probably, like I said, a number of factors, but really sad to see, because it's been such a pillar of the Australian festival calendar for the last 20 plus years.
Hey, Matt, you're the chief executive now of this powerhouse group, the Mushroom Group, but once upon a time, you're a young kid like ourselves were at the time, and I remember my first concert, Rock Set. I've got the worst seat in the house, loved every minute of it. Your upbringing would have been very different. A lot of backstage passes and some of the people you would have met. What's your vivid memories of being a young son?
Like always going to shows, you know, multiple shows each week, getting to go on tours with my dad, or you know, with my family. I think when I was growing up, not many people would attend live music events. It was really still developing. I think, you know, a lot of people at my school wouldn't have attended a live festival or concert until they were, you know, 14, 15. You do Ed Sheeran or you do Taylor Swift, and you see there's kids as young as 4 and 5 enjoying it.
Yeah.
So, you know, not that it's more accessible now, but it's just the connection that younger people have with music. It's something that's just, you know, I'm so glad to see. But yeah, look, I got to, yeah, I mean, there's too many to name. But you know, whether it was going on tour with Billy Joel when I was 5 or 6 years old, and getting to travel around the country on that with my dad, or you know, convincing my dad when I was 14 or 15 and he didn't want to know about it, to tour Eminem. And you know, and at the time, one of my favorite artists. So it was you know, to get to meet him was probably every kid my age's dream at that point in time. The tour went on to lose money, so it took about 3 months before my dad listened to me again. But it was still, I got to meet him, so I was happy.
Matt, is there any young artists on the label now that we should be looking out for that you guys have got?
There's so many. I mean, you know, look, we've got a great Australian rock band at the moment. It's a band called DMAs. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yep.
They're doing great things overseas that we've sort of been growing and part of building their career over the last 10 years. I mean, other great Melbourne artists like the Teskey Brothers, great Sydney band, the Rubens. You know, we have an amazing upcoming artist, female artist called Lottie Gallagher. She performed at the Mushroom 50 live concert last November. It was one of the first shows she'd actually ever done in her career. She's still at school, and you know, she's going to be a big, you know, star for us over the coming years. And another girl called Mia Ray that my dad was a big champion of, that just put her new single out last week. You know, who's been, you know, just growing and growing with every song she puts out. So look, Australian music is healthier than ever. It's a very competitive landscape. There's more Australian artists having success on the, you know, globally, which, you know, is just great to see. And that's really what my dad wanted for the industry. And, you know, if a couple of them can be signed to Mushroom along the way, well, that's even better.
Hey, Matty, if you go through the Melbourne Cup honour list, there'll be a horse there that wore the blue and white, and Gudinski was on the owner sheet.
Well, there's 3 of them, so, you know.
Is there 3?
Have a good look through the
So Twilight Payment was the most recent?
Twilight Payment.
Green Moon?
Elman. And Rekindling.
Rekindling!
Wow!
Look, it was a long journey. My dad had been investing in, you know, horses a bit of fun and, passion. He grew up near Caulfield Racecourse, been investing in horses unsuccessfully for about 35 years. And it was always as a Melbourne boy to win the Melbourne Cup. So look, it's I still got to pinch ourselves to say that we were able to win one, let alone be part of Nick and Lloyd Williams's crew, to be part of 3 Melbourne Cup winners. And the problem is, once you win one of those races, you want to win more. So it's hopefully one day again we'll get to that and get to enjoy that. But yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Brian, I had one of my biggest collects ready for rekindling. It come darting in the pink hat, but then I was told not to back it and back something else. I ended up backing Joannis Vermeers, who loomed up to look the winner, but the pink cap of rekindling won the race. It was a 3-year-old, I think, Southern Hemisphere 3-year-old.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
You've got him started now, Matty. Matty, you've got him started now. He won't stop.
We were involved in Johannes Vermeer as well, and I probably would have preferred that one to win too.
Oh, no.
Hey, Matty, I know you've got to go, but can I ask you this? If we can't get Bruce Springsteen, how much is Vanilla Ice going to cost me?
That's probably more up the NRL's alley.
I'm going to contact him. He can come in now and flip my house for me as well, because he's quite handy on the renos.
Yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
All right,
Oh, did you watch the Hey, Matty, did you watch the We Are the World documentary that was on Netflix?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh,
Actually.
it's awesome.
Yeah, very good.
Very good. Like a young Bruce
Check it out.
Springsteen's in that. It's very good. Very good.
I'll have to check it out. But everyone should tune in and Ego tonight. It's a pretty amazing documentary, and Mushroom's been part of so many people's lives with the music that we've put out, and tune into Channel 7 tonight, because I don't think you'll be disappointed. And it's I'm really glad to get everyone. Give everyone the chance to see it on 7 tonight.
Also, many, many stars that your family has been involved with. Matt Gudinski, thanks for being on the run home with Joel and Fletch.
Pleasure, guys.
There it is. Ego, I can't wait for this tonight, Brian. 7:30 on Channel 7.